Hey folks, so in today's video, I'm going to share with you the 5 quickest tweaks that exploded our revenue so that you can apply them immediately to grow your own lifestyle business, sales, income, and growth moving forward. And with that, let's get started. So what to expect, right? I'm going to share with you the 5 different categories, the 5 different tweaks you can potentially use to grow your business. Number 1, right, we're going to talk about lead generation, increasing your traffic. Number 2, lead connections. Number 3, lead nurture, and content. How to increase client purchases and how to increase client fulfillment. And so one thing to take note of is, right, whenever a client or even a friend or a partner comes to me and say, Mark, right, I'm not making the sales I want, I'm not making the income I want, right, immediately, right, the one thing I'm going to do is to ask them, which is your bottleneck, and I'll explain these 5 different factors as I'm going to do in this video, and then we'll decide what tweaks can we make to instantly increase and explode their revenue in the shortest period of time. And this is what I'm going to get. And so who is Mark Teo? Very quickly, so I was in the tech startup space, facilitated more than $10 million of funding for startups many years ago. After that, I became a digital marketer, right, generated about $5 million, 300K from side hustles, became the #1 affiliate for Tony Robbins. And then after that, I took the leap of faith to start my own lifestyle coaching business, made it from 0 to 100K in less than 12 months, and I've served more than 350 people since. And right now, I help aspiring and current lifestyle entrepreneurs make extra 10 to 30K per month while having time, energy, and freedom to enjoy your life. So, number 1, right, so the first factor we talk about is lead generation or traffic. So if this is your bottleneck, this is one thing to work on. So lead generation basically just means about increasing the number of eyeballs to your business, to your marketing, your profile, your sales, so they increase the number of followers, subscribers, and connections, basically increasing the number of potential people who could buy from you as well. And the more leads and eyeballs you get, the more sales you get. So a quick question people ask is ads or organic, right? In my opinion, if you're making 10 to 30K per month for a lifestyle business, ads is somewhat optional, but you make life a lot easier, right? Organic alone technically can be possible, but ads just make your life a lot easier just by putting in just a little bit of money, right? Every single month of ads. So easiest tweaks, right, for lead generation. Number 1, start running ads. So if you're not running ads, right, you can just put in about $10, $20 per day. You don't need to put a lot of money to ads, but that gives you a constant supply of fresh potential leads that you can contact and work with. That alone can be enough for a lot of people to increase their income in a very short period of time, right? The other thing what I'll do is I will take some of my best posts, right? Second number 2 is take some of my best posts and I'll post it on already existing platforms and groups which are active and might attract people already. And from there, I will get a lot of new eyeballs to my platforms and groups. So for example, I join a lot of different Facebook groups like Tony Robbins, right? Asia Hustle Network, so on and so forth. And when I post on my top performing content there, a lot of people like my posts, see my profile, follow me, and that's how I get a fresh new set of leads on a consistent basis. Another thing is just to attend events and programs, right? And find out potential leads to get there. Again, this is not for everyone. And the one hack I always tell people is to attend events and programs you would benefit from no matter what. It means do not attend an event and program just to network, right? Because then people can find out you're trying to have an ulterior motive in mind. Attend events and programs you would happily learn from already, and you can connect with potential clients from there. The 4th one is to find trusted people to do some form of partnerships and collaborations with, whether it's through interviews, right, cross-promotion, lead magnets, right, where they feature your workshop or vice versa, or just meeting up and then sharing each other's content from that point of view. So there are a lot of ways to partner collaborations, and these are some of the easiest tweaks to expand your eyeballs. And this is one way. If lead generation is your bottleneck, you can do all of these activities immediately. So number 2, all right, lead connections. So for example, lead connections or what I call conversations are your bottleneck, then this portion is for you. So one quick story, which is a couple of weeks ago, I had a chat with one of my good friends and consultants, right, Brian. And I realized while he was making already about a healthy multiple 5 figures per month, or about 6 figures per year, the one thing that I was surprised with, which is every day he still prospects about 20 to 30 people a day on average. And again, this is someone that makes about 6 figures every year. And so this is when I realized that not just myself, but my clients, the people around me, right, most of us here have no excuse, because most of us, right, I would bet, are not prospecting at least that 20 to 30 people minimally every day. And we are making some of us are making even less money, right, than what Brian or my friends, my consultants are doing. So again, lead connection conversation just means you are DMing and increasing number of conversations you have each and every day. And more convos equals to more meetings, equals to more sales, because we are in the age of personalization. So the more DMs, the more conversation you have, the more sales you make. And this is really just about volume, right? I say 10 to 30 every day, right? Alex Hormozy says 100, the rule of 100 every day. So again, most of us, right, we are not making enough money just because of this one thing. We are just not conversing with enough people every single day. So easiest tweaks for conversations, right? Number one, increase as many of what I call valuable openers as possible. I'll be doing a separate training on this, which means just creating the potential opportunities to open up new conversation people and adding valuable stuff. So instead of trying to sell people from the first DM as most people do, try to add as much value as possible, giving resources, giving content, right? Giving them feedback on what maybe some of the things that you can add value with. So again, don't just spam 50 people every day, right, asking to sell your stuff, but increase as much value as possible, even on the first single message. Again, I'll do a separate training on that. Another thing is, you want to schedule time each day and do it no matter what. You want to make this a top priority, because even if they don't close immediately, the fact that you have all these authentic, valuable conversation people might mean that they might think of you the next time they might need to buy a service that you could provide. So again, schedule each time and each day, right, to do it no matter what. When is it? Half an hour to 1 hour. If you read this book called Fanatical Prospecting, you can check it out. But basically, schedule time each day and do it no matter what. Number 3, right, which is offer qualified folks very stupid donation stuff. So again, right, if you ever need a cash flow in a short period of time, one of the best things you can do is to find who are some qualified people, right, and offer them stupid to say no offers, right, to just kickstart the conversation, kickstart the one-to-one calls, kickstart a potential small little purchase, and that can bring up a lot more business for you in the long term. So again, these are the easiest tweaks, right? My take is this one is something that most people do, and right, schedule time each day and do it for the long term. So number 3, right, is lead nurture, right, which is content. So basically, need nurture, just nurturing your current level of leads, right, to potentially trust you, your offer, what you're talking about, right, to be more likely to buy from you, and you do it through content. So a lot of the reason why a lot of us don't make as much money as one is just because you're not creating enough content, which means most people are not trusting us enough. And so content, basically just creating more content, probably on social media. You can put on email newsletters, we have them as well. More content equals to more trust, equals to more clients, right? And a quick question people ask me, right, do I do videos or written, right? So there are 2 ways to kind of answer this question, right? Number 1 is videos traditionally, do they work a lot better if you want to go viral, get a lot deeper, right? So videos, I would do videos right now as I'm doing a video right now here, right? But written, right? Written is if you want to go more in depth, and if you are actually liking the process of writing, you know that you're a strong writer, then go a bit more written content. Right? So the second way to answer this, in my opinion, which is you can actually do both, right? I'm talking about repurposing, right, in the next slide. But basically, for example, if you love videos, right, you can do videos first and repurpose them into written content for other platforms. If you love written content, right, sometimes what I do that, which is I do written content and I repurpose or I shoot the videos based on what, right? So you can do both together rather than either or. But we'll start with what you might be stronger or more aligned with, or what seems easier to you at this point of time. So easiest tweaks to increase your level of content so that people trust you more and buy from you more. Number 1, repurpose same content in different platforms and mediums. So for example, if I do a short form video on YouTube, I can also repurpose them to TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, X if I really want to, Threads, so on and so forth. So I can repurpose same content to different platforms and different mediums as well. So mediums could be, for example, a long form YouTube video. I can repurpose that into a short video, right? Or a written email. I can actually repurpose it, right, as a reel or as a carousel in Instagram or Facebook. So again, you can always repurpose it. And there are a lot of resources out there on repurposing. I'm not an expert because I get a team member to do it for me for just a low cost per month. You can do that yourself. Number 2 is, right, whoever that likes or engages with content, make sure, and linking to step number 2, which is converse with folks who like your content, right? That's number 2. Number 3 is model after already successful posts. That means don't have to go and be a genius to think about wonderful genius piece of content all on your own. You can model about successful, save them, right, for refer later. If you're ever running out of ideas, you can always refer to them and then you can just post whatever. A model afterwards really successful. Number 4, client purchases, right? So now that you have potential prospects who are ready to potentially buy from you, the question is, how do you improve our probability of conversion? How for every 10 people that might be potentially buying from us, how can you increase it from 2 to 5 to 6 to 7, right? And so by increasing our conversion rates, right, they're more likely to get more clients and more sales. So basically just means increasing the probability of someone saying yes to you what you have to offer, right? And again, high conversions mean more yeses for every 10 people, 100 people that potentially see your offer and get more clients. So another question is for conversions is there are about 3 main ways to look at conversion rates, which is through one-to-one calls, through workshops, right, or sales pages. So for example, I can sell my offer, sell my product or service through having a lot of one-to-one calls, right? Workshops, which is one to many, one to a group, or sales pages, right? That means I just give people a link and then they take a look If everything in the page makes sense to them, then they will buy. So my take, right, can be very different. One-to-ones, if you really want to charge a lot higher, most of the time you do need one-to-ones, or right, you really want to increase your probability of people signing up, then you will do those one-to-one calls. So for one-to-ones, right, I would suggest it for most people who are starting out, who don't have a huge branding, and you want to make sure that every potential person, right, is a high level of signing up with you. You want to do one-to-one calls. Workshops, right? You can actually have workshops and link them to one-to-one calls. So that's another strategy as well, which I do in separate videos, right? But if you're trying to sell your offer through workshops, make sure that it's not a very high price offer, right? Or you have a lot of people that you cannot handle, right? So workshops only if you have a huge amount of volume or you're selling something very affordable or cheap. The only exception, right, for workshops and you want to do sales pages is if you have a huge branding and you have like thousands and thousands of followers who are ready to buy from you. So again, workshop sales pages, right? Again, those are more for if you have a lot of people and you're selling a cheaper offer. But I'll usually do sales pages only if I'm very confident that people will buy and I have a strong branding so that I don't have to think too much about conversion. If I want to maximize my probability of sign-ups, one-to-ones and workshops will work very well. Biggest tweaks for highest conversions, right? Number one, you must have a high stupid to say no offer. So if you are not very good at sales, which is a whole other skill by itself, you can take a long time to improve, right? Then one thing I would just remind you is the more stupid to say no your offer is, the better your offer is, the less you have to rely on sales skills to get your conversion. So if you want to improve your high conversions, make your offer more stupid to say no. So for example, when I did a beta offer campaign a couple of months ago, right, it was a $1 first, right, and then you pay only like 1 month later, right? It was such a freaking stupid to say no offer that we have one of the highest conversion rates ever, about 70 to 80%. Okay, right? Number two is risk reversals, right? Which is create guarantees, right? Pay by performance, for example, which is basically you're reducing the risk or the potential cost of your potential client, right? And the more you can reverse or reduce their risk, the more likely they'll say yes. Because the reason why people don't say yes is because they're afraid that you'll take out a lot of money, time, resources, effort from them. Number three is make it really easy for them to say yes, like I said, by saying $1 first. They don't have to overthink too much about the decision. They put in a $1 first, get them to say the first yes, and then it's easier them to scale up to the big yes. So again, high conversion rates, do all of these three things, right? You'll probably get a lot more high conversions and more sales moving forward. And the fifth one, client renewal. So maybe all four you're working very well, but you're just churning, right? Your clients are just leaving over and over again. So this is what I mean by fulfillment. So basically, right, what it means for client renewals, which is clients who pay you over and over again, and this leads to what I call recurring income. We have a separate training on that as well. So recurring income, right, is one of my best things, right, I like from a lifestyle business, which is clients pay you every single month without having you to sell them again, right? And more clients you stay, the more money you make regardless of what you're doing. This is why I was able to travel to my honeymoon for 1 month and still make good money, right, during that period of time. Because why? I have a lot of clients who are already renewing with me and paying me every single month, right? And so one thing to take note is clients don't just stay because whether they can get them results or not. That's important, right? Number one is they want to believe they can get some form of results that they want. But sometimes clients also stay for the experience, right? What I mean, maybe they like working with you, they like hanging out with you, they like learning from you, right? Or they just like the community around and they just want to be in the environment where they can continue enjoying the experience in whatever they're doing, right? The third reason why people might stay is growth, right? Which is they feel that by with you, whether it's internally or externally, they are growing one way or another, right? Whether it's through learnings, mindsets, skill sets, expanding horizons, perspectives. So again, sometimes people don't stay just because you give results. They might stay because of the experience or the growth as well. So easiest tweaks for client renewal. So these are people who paid you before, right? Number one is make it even cheaper for them to continue. So for example, if your first year or your first 6 months of your program is, let's say, $5,000, right? If they want to renew with you, instead of paying $5,000 again, they can pay maybe $1,000 for the 6 months, right? And it's usually fine because the most amount of value comes at the first 6 months, right? So if they want to continue, usually they get a bit lower value most of the time. So by making it cheaper, more affordable for them to continue, right? Number one, you have to sell, it's going to be easier for you to sell. Number two, right, is if it's cheaper, they're more likely to continue and this gives you recurring income. Okay? Number two, right, is be flexible and offer multiple options. So what do I mean? Right, instead of just saying you only have one option, which is to pay $1,000 for the next 6 months, right? You can give them lighter offer, you can give them a more premium offer, or even a middle offer. So give them multiple options depending on their budget, right? Their pace, right? Their preferences. By giving them more options, you are giving them more chances to say yes to you. So I have clients that renew at $400 to $500 per month. I also have clients renewing at $200, $300 per month, and all depends on the preferences, right? Or depends on what's suitable for them. Okay, number 3 is you do want to explain how you can support their journey moving forward. So if all you do is just to ask them to give the renewals, if they don't see how to get some value from you, chances are they might not renew as well. So explain how you can support their journey moving forward also. Okay, so with that, here's the final tip, right? So we've gone through the 5 factors. So what you want to do, right, again, is anytime someone might be struggling with their sales or they're trying to make a lot more money, you can always ask them the first question, which is what is the bottleneck? Is it lead generation? Is it the fact you're not DMing enough people? Is it you're not even posting enough content in the first place? Is it your conversion rate suck, right? That means people are attending your workshops, your events, your one-to-one calls, but not converting, right? Or, right, you are not even renewing them in the first place. So again, right, this 5. And what I'll do is I will always want to work on the weakest score first, not the strongest. I know it's very tempting to work on the strongest score first because you are good at it already. But what I've realized over and over again is it's easier to get from a score, let's say 1 out of 5, right, to a 3 out of 5, right, than a 3 out of 5 to a 5 out of 5. So always work on the weakest one. That's why I call it bottlenecks rather than strongest, because why? You get more results with less effort by working on the weakest portion first. Okay, and so recap, right? Lead generation, lead connection, lead nurture, lead purchase, client purchases, client fulfillment, right? Again, you can always put down a comment what's your biggest bottleneck, right? And then we can work and you can start working on that moving forward. So with that, hope you guys enjoyed the video, right? Our invitation, if you want to make unlimited personal support, make extra 10 to 30,000 per month minimum while enjoying your life, while enjoying your business in the next 6 to 12 months, click on the first link below or find me on Facebook and DM me info for details, right? With that, I'll see you in the next video.